Most of us live inside our own heads a lot. Thoughts keep coming, memories replay, feelings return. Plans and worries just keep circling, even when nothing obvious is happening. Sometimes it feels like the mind doesn't really switch off. And what's strange is this: that can still be true, even when life on the outside is going okay. The job might change, a relationship might improve, things might settle down, and yet inside, the same reactions keep showing up, the same insecurities, the same emotional patterns, the same sense of this is just who I am. And that can feel confusing. Because if things are changing on the outside, why doesn't it feel that different on the inside? Now, here's something important. This doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It usually means your mind is doing exactly what it learned to do very, very well. The human mind is incredibly good at holding life together. It remembers the past so you don't repeat mistakes. It imagines the future so you're prepared. And it keeps a story going so you have a sense of who you are. All of that creates a strong feeling of me. And that's not a flaw, it's a solution. It's how we function, it's how we stay oriented, it's how we move through the world. But there's something subtle that comes with it. When experience keeps coming back to the same center, back to me, it starts moving along very familiar paths. The same thoughts show up, the same emotional reactions get triggered, the same inner loops repeat, not because you're choosing them, but because they've been practiced again and again. Over time, they become automatic. It's a bit like walking the same route every day. At first, you notice everything. Then gradually, you stop paying attention. You just follow the path. And the mind does something very similar. It follows the same inner routes. And that's why life can feel meaningful and intense, but also tight and repetitive at the same time. Nothing has gone wrong. Your awareness has simply learned how to return very efficiently to the same place. And the better it gets at doing it, the more stable the sense of self becomes, but also the more predictable your inner experience can feel. Now, here's the part people often miss. Relief doesn't usually come from thinking harder. It doesn't come from fixing yourself or becoming someone different. It doesn't come from getting everything right. Relief comes when that constant inner returning relaxes, even a little. When experience doesn't always have to pass through the same familiar reaction. When awareness isn't pulled back to the same place every single time something happens. When there's just a bit more space, a bit more room for things to move. Now, this doesn't mean you lose your personality. It doesn't mean you go blank or check out of life. You still think, you still remember, you still respond. But experience isn't trapped inside the same narrow channel anymore. There can be more openness, less urgency, and a little more flexibility in how things are felt. Sometimes, very simply, things just pass without sticking. Some people call this awakening or enlightenment, but that can make it sound bigger and harder than it actually is, because nothing new gets added. Nothing is gained. something just stops holding so tightly. And when that happens, there's often a quiet kind of relief, not dramatic, not overwhelming, just easier, like stepping out of a room you didn't realize was crowded, or loosening something you didn't notice you were holding. And here's the thing that matters most: that openness was never actually missing. It was always there. It was just temporarily occupied by a mind doing its job very, very well.